You stupid bitch. Yeah, you're a stupid bitch. You stupid bitch. Hi, stupid bitch. How the fuck are ya?
Hi, stupid bitch. I'm pretty good now that I've got a wine in my hand.
Me too. I for the first time in a very long time, I had to go to the bottle shop and buy red wine for the podcast tonight because the
Oh, that's
wine
right. Because
rack.
last week you were bitching about Vinny drinking all your wine.
Well, no, he only had opened one bottle, to be fair, and had a glass out of it. But the wine rack is completely empty except for one lone bottle. And I think it's a good one. So I've kept it there. I thought, fuck it, just buy some because we don't have the wine subscription anymore.
I know. What a tragedy. Well, I ducked up the road. I had to get a laminator for work from Kermit.
Oh.
And a little bit of lunch. So I ducked into the bottle shop and thought, you know what? I feel like a cheeky red tonight. So I brought two
Oh.
bottles of red.
Yeah, me too. I got two bottles of red. It's because it's a cold night. We got
Yeah.
heaps of rosé and white wine. So I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll pop one of them in the fridge and mix it up. I was like, it's coming into winter.
Well, I've got about 6 bottles of white of Mudhouse actually
that you just added to.
in the fridge. So I was like, I could just drink the Mudhouse. But I mean, you know how I say it's my favorite one, and it absolutely is. I'm not taking that back, but I've
No
drunk a
takes back,
lot of
says.
it in the last couple of weeks. So now
It's
I'm
nice
like,
to mix shit up.
I love it, but I don't think I feel like it tonight.
And that's okay. It's okay to change the palette every now and then.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh. And hi, everybody else, and welcome to this week's episode of Stupid Bitches Say What, the Aussie
Welcome.
podcast about everything and
Nothing.
but always with
Wine
and your
or
hosts, Skyly
beer
Collett.
or other alcoholic beverage. Yes, and with your other host, Sean Benno Hipkins, the stupid bitch of all time.
Thank you very much for that. That
Take a
honor.
bow.
I do a little curtsy, if you will. So, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, I'm so glad you asked.
Oh,
Let me tell you, I really didn't pay much attention actually when I got this. It was 2 for $30. I'm drinking Wynn's Coonawarra Estate Cab Sav. It's a 2022.
oh,
Where's it from? Where's Coonawarra again? What state?
sounds like a Western Australia, South
Oh, look,
Australia.
there's a little map on the back. There's a little region, Coonawarra region. South Australia, plus.
Oh,
South
South
Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
And what's it like?
The siding. Yeah, look, it's lovely. You can't really, it's a cab sav. What are you going to do? Unless you're buying a $2 cab sav.
So can I
I
ask
think
then?
they're all pretty comparable, right?
Yes, great. If you got 2 for 30, does that mean your bottle of wine for the pop culture is also going to be a Coonawarra cab sav?
No. Well, because it's at Liquorland, if you find any 2 for $30s, they'll let you mix and match.
Love that.
So
Love a
I
mix
got
and
a
match.
different one for the next one.
Very good.
But it is a cute little bottle because I am a sucker for a cute
Show
little
me.
bottle. Can you see the little houses? Like little
Oh,
barns, I would say.
it does.
Looks like 3 little barns and some trees and
It
some
looks like
lawn.
it looks like the perfect setting for a true
Like a
crime special.
farmyard. Oh, yes, it does. I'm actually really scared about yours. I think it's
Mine's a
going to be
big one
really
too.
gruesome. I'm really getting freaked out. Tyler, beware. You're probably
It's
going to.
it's not too gruesome.
Oh, sure. You say that all the time, and then you
No,
go into
it's
the
not.
nitty gritty.
It's a lot about sort of his life and all this stuff and all that interesting things. But yeah, it's not too gruesome. It's not too gruesome, but it's long.
Heard that before. Bodies in the barrels.
That was fucking gruesome. That was harsh. That one.
Fucked up. That
There's a lot of torturous shit in that. That was season 1 or season 2?
I remember we did it when I was living in Brisbane at Sarah and Aaron's place. So
Yeah,
I think it was actually season 3.
Yeah, because I remember, I think it was one of the opening ones too. I was like, let's
It
go into the
was.
bang.
Yeah, it was the first one. And then I did Jared Bait and Clay, I think, at the same time.
Yes.
Oh, apologies. You're waiting for me to ask you what the fuck you're drinking, you stupid bitch.
I am. Thought it'd be nice if you tried. I am drinking a Cab Sav as well.
Ah, surprise.
It's a Taylor's Cabernet Sav, Lime Coast, Clare Valley.
Show me the bottle. I think I might have that
2021.
for my second bottle.
It's 8 gold medals. And I can't tell
No,
if
mine
this
didn't
is
have any medals on.
And this one, I don't know if it's a Need some light. Hang on. Silver medal or a platinum? Who knows?
Yeah, I've got to say, the old
Oh,
vape's
it's a
a bit harsh on
platinum.
my lungs tonight.
It's a platinum.
Oh, okay, great.
So 1 platinum and 8 gold.
How much it cost you?
So when I went to the BWS, and because I do like to shop there, get my everyday rewards points, the lady's like, hey, we've got this new thing. BWS have their own app now. It's connected to your everyday rewards, but you get,
Yeah, I've
like,
seen it.
if you buy a bottle, you get discount if you get it through the app. I'm like, sweet. So I think it was like 23 down to 12.
Do love a discount / freebie, don't you?
And I
Don't
love a
we
fucking,
all though? Don't we all? I just don't have the time to shop the freebies the way that you do. You know, all the
I love
all
a
the
point
specials.
system. I love getting
You love a
something
point
back.
system.
But yes, it's very nice. But you know, it's nice. And it's the same thing as per any red wine, really. When you have that first one, you're a bit, ooh. But then now it's nice. It's got thrice dragons on the front.
Oh, drag! Show me again. I didn't see the thrice dragons. I love a little
2021.
drag. Oh, they look like seahorses, you dumb bitch.
They are actually seahorses. You're right.
The fuck you get a dragon from a seahorse, mate?
I think that's pretty understandable. They're the dragons of the
No,
sea.
not at all.
Aren't
Aren't they the unicorns of the sea?
seahorses? You know how the men carry the babies?
The mermaids.
The mermaids. But it's delicious. How's your week been?
How's my week been? Okay, so where do I start? I don't have anything super interesting, but that's not going to stop me. What actually just occurred to me, which I thought you would find amusing. This is one that wasn't on my list, and I just remembered. Oh, here's my dog. It's just like clockwork. As soon as we start,
He's giving you tips about how his week's been.
He wants to come on the podcast. So we went and got, probably a couple of months ago, we went to the old Pillow Talk and got a whole new bunch of bed sheets. I love my bed sheets. I love having nice ones. I like mixing up the different types of pillows and the different color sheets I have, and
Nice.
you know, change it all up whenever we change the sheets. It's something that I very much enjoy doing. So we went and splurged a little while ago, and we got a whole bunch of new pillows, because I have a pillow that I've had since the Lorraine Lee Lynn party that Maria had
That old
about
chestnut.
12 years ago, and I've had the same pillow since. And when I brought it, it was one of those like foam melds to your head, and I remember I hated it. And the chick said to me, when I saw it at another party, she was like, just give it another couple of goes, like give it a good week before you actually say you hate it. And she was right. I gave it a good week and then I loved it. But it's getting very ratty. So we went and brought some new ones. And in the process, you know, we got some lovely new sheets, and we've got like a king size bed, but we get the deep fit because the
Super King.
we've got the super king quilt, like you told me to do.
You're welcome.
But we've got a king size bed, not a super king size bed.
Yeah.
But we find that with the sheets, if we just get the king size, it doesn't quite go all the way to the edges. Like we've got quite a tall mattress. So if you get the deep fit, it does fit quite well. But when you get the deep fit and you go to Pillow Talk, oh my God, I'm going to kill my dog. Seriously. If he doesn't shut the fuck up. So we probably paid about $120 for this fitted sheet, right? And it's lovely. It's a beautiful, like, forest green color. It goes with every single bed cover set that I have. Gorgeous. But Tyler's a very restless sleeper. Right. He moves around. I get into bed. I get into my little tiny fetal cocoon position, and I don't move all night. I stay there. I stay in the same spot, and I don't move all night. Tyler thrashes. He gets up. He, you know, talks in his sleep. And every morning we wake up, his pillowcases are twisted on the pillow. The sheets come up off the corners, and so once one corner comes up, the other corner comes up. So, and because we've got all the blankets and stuff on, he always has to be the one to tuck in the sides when it you know, comes up the top.
Tops.
Anyway, so last night I was going to bed and I was like, oh, the corner's up. Can you come fix it for me? And he's like, oh God, because he was already in bed and he's already fixed his side. And he comes over and he's pulling on it and he's pushing it down. And he goes, oh, fuck. And I was like, what? And he's like, oh, I've ripped it. And
I went, no.
Pardon me, what?
Big pattern, what, please?
He's like, I've ripped it. I'm like, you've ripped what? The fitted sheet, the sheet that we just brought. we've used it a couple of times.
He's like, do I need to spell this out?
I didn't mean to rip it. Like, it was an accident. You know what I'm like? I'm heavy-handed. I've just ripped it. He's like a bull in a china shop, mate. He breaks everything. Anyway, and I'm just like, oh my God, my $120 fitted sheet that I've got is just ripped. Like, what the actual fuck? It's still got that new sheen on it. It's so new. We've used it a couple of times, but it's just so beautiful.
It's a little shine and
and then I go around to his side to try to fix his up because he's fucked my side when he's fixed it. And there's a rip in his side. So when he's done the corner, he's ripped it.
Yeah, he thought he could get away with that one. He didn't have to tell you it was on his side.
I thought, but do you know what? In all my years of making beds and buying expensive sheets, I've never had a sheet where you've pulled it over the corner and it's ripped straight through. So I'm going to take it back. I'm going to contact them and be like, I'm sorry. We've just tried to pull it over the edge and we've got the deep fit and it's for a king size. We've got a king size bed. I'm trying to squeeze it onto a bed that's too big.
Yeah.
It cost me $120 and it's ripped just from trying to get it over the corner.
Yeah, do it. Do you know,
give me a free one.
We did, we got Peter Alexander pajama bottoms a couple of years ago. And I think Vinny bought me a pair, may have been some purple dragon ones. I can't remember. But
dragon ones? Where do you get those from?
Peter Alexander, you dumb bitch. But he got it from the Maya, I think. Anyway, I think within a week or 2 weeks as well, there was a rip in the crotch and we're like, what the fuck? And he took it back and they were like, yeah, it's faulty, and we got a new pair. So definitely take them back.
Yeah. But you've never heard of like putting, the amount of times that your sheet corner does pop off, and then you just push it back on. Do you know what I mean? Like, for it to actually rip while you're putting it back on both sides.
On both sides as
That's
well.
insane.
Yeah.
Like, he's heavy-handed. Don't get me wrong. He's like reefed it and fucking shoved his fingers in and just fingers have gone straight through it. But still, I don't need to know that.
Yeah, exactly. No, take it back. See what you get. You never know.
Oh, no, I'll make them give me another one. Don't you worry about
that. Very good.
I was like, just the hassle of fucking have to go there. I was like,
do it.
$120 fitted sheet. What do you mean it's ripped?
Yeah, just for a fitted sheet as well. That is,
I know.
you to expect better
babe,
quality.
What do you want me to say? Okay, I'm sorry.
I want more than that.
God.
I'm very sorry, Skye, Queen Skye, stupid bitch.
So then the other thing I just want to quickly talk about is that so Tyler with one of his clients goes to a lot of the what's the places that you go to with the tips, and it has like the secondhand stuff, and you go to the tip, and he goes to the one at Vicky Point, I think.
Oh, like
they shop, the
thing.
Recycle World. Yeah. So he goes there quite often. He's always coming home with random stuff. Particularly for my mother. My mum's like, when you're out, look for this for me. And he's always like, Deb, I've got you this thing.
It's a babushka doll.
So do you know what he got me, which is actually kind of cool, and I thought it would share it, is, can you see this?
Oh my God, Alanis Morissette.
On cassette tape, plus.
That is cool.
And it even has remember the old lyrics?
Yeah. You fold out the cover.
The folded out lyrics. Very, very small writing, mind you.
But back in the day, we could read that.
Yeah. And back in the day, you remember getting a new CD I mean, cassette tapes is a long time ago, because most of my stuff that I brought music for myself was CDs, really.
Yeah.
But remember getting the fresh album that you just got and you only heard one song, because they didn't play all the songs on the radio back then. You only just heard one song. I'm like, I'm going to get that album because I love that song.
Yeah.
You'd come home, you'd get the words out, and you'd sit there and you'd listen to it from end to end. You'd sing along the whole way, then you'd play it again because you paid $20 for it.
Turn it over, put inside B, and then play that.
You're going to get your $20 worth.
Yeah.
You're going to know every single song on that album by heart.
Yes, it used to be a rule of mine, because there would be so many times you'd get burnt where you're like, I love that song, get the album. The album would be shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it used to be a rule of mine that I had to wait until they had 2 songs that I liked.
Of course,
then I'd buy the album.
Rule for you. I wasn't that. I wasn't that. What's the word I'm looking for? Disciplined. I was like, I love this song. I'm going to get the whole album.
I remember it was the same with Bachelor Girl when she came out with.
She had a few bangers on that first album, though.
But I had to wait till the second song came out, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm getting the album," and I got that on CD.
Yeah. Well, I brought the Alanis Morissette CD after just playing
Ought to
Know on repeat.
That was too much of a banger to not get the album.
This is for our young listeners who are a lot younger than us. But back then, the only way that you heard it was on the radio.
Yeah.
So I used to stay up every single night for the top 40, and it was number 1 for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I'd wait in bed for the number 1. And if anyone fucking came into my room while I was waiting for Allosaurus that you want to know to come in. I'll be like, get out.
Do you know,
I'm waiting for my song.
I remember listening every Sunday night to Rick D's and the Weekly Top 40. And that was from America. I used to fucking love it. And that's when I was into Mariah Carey and Hero would come on. And then anytime you need a friend.
Well, I remember one of the biggest fights I ever had with my mum was when I was trying to record on cassette tape Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You from one of the top 40s. And I had been waiting all afternoon. And this was years ago. I was probably 13, 14. And it wasn't as coordinated as the top 40. It was they'd just play it wherever, and depending on what radio station you were listening to. So I was just like waiting, and it finally came on, and I was trying to record it, and Mum came in and started talking to me. I was like, no. You made me miss the beginning. I went all day. She's like, Skye, I'm just trying to have a conversation with you. I was like, get out of my room.
You're ruining my life.
Not your room. This is my house. You just have a room in my house.
No closed doors in my house.
Yeah, totally.
And it was so annoying when you'd record it and then the DJ would start talking at the end of the song over the top of the lyrics. You're like, dude.
There was nothing worse. Nothing worse at all.
Ugh.
Anyway, so that's my tidbits. How's your week been, you stupid bitch?
My week's been good, thank you. As you can see, my Canucks merchandise finally arrived.
So exciting.
So this is the vintage logo of the Canucks.
Sports mad fan now.
Well, just a hockey fan. I wouldn't say it's a sports thing in general.
Oh, it's a slippery slope.
No, I've tried all other sports. I am of an age now where I've given other sports a go and not into it, but definitely the hockey.
Well, you never watched the corgi racing?
Oh, well, that's true. And actually, I was looking through the Foxtel Sports channel, and there was one of the sports that came up, and I was like, fuck, mate. They had like air guitar championships. There was another one that I was like, what the fuck? I can't remember what it is, but I'll cut that bit out. So I got my vintage Canucks. See, it's like a skate.
It's very cool. I like it a lot.
And I got my Canucks jersey. So I'll wear that for the next recording. Not this tonight, but next week. The other thing is, I don't know if I mentioned on the podcast last week how our dear friend Nat got
the Lego. Yeah, tell us about it.
So we got it. And then we started building it, I think last week. And then as we were doing it, we got to one number and there was none of that number. And it was one that had 500, you needed 524 pieces of. Oh. So I had to get online and say to them, you didn't pack this number. They're like, sorry, we pack it by hand. Sometimes this happens. Sent it out for free. It came within 2 days. We then fucking got to work and started plugging away. We were doing like a sheet. So there's 9 tiles basically. And each tile is 24 pieces by 24 pieces. So 500 and something.
And then you put the tiles together to make one big picture?
Then you connect the tiles together, and this is 12 tiles in total. So we were doing a tile a night each, Vinny and I, and it takes about an hour to do a tile. So we started that last week, had to stop because there wasn't a color that we needed a lot of. And then when that arrived, we finished it off, did it this week. And then last night, we got to, I think we'd done 10 tiles. I thought, fuck it, I'm just doing the others. And Vinny's thumb hurt, so he makes himself this makeshift thimble with fucking electrical tape with tissue stuck in the middle so he doesn't hurt his thumb. He stopped after his 1 tile last night, and I did 3 just to finish it off. And it looks amazing.
Show us.
Well, I can't hold it up because it's too big, but I've got a picture of it. And
so how big is it?
It's quite large. So there was a total of 6,912 bricks went into it. It's 57.6 centimeters by 76.8 centimeters.
Oh, that's just random numbers to me. Oh, it looks lovely, doesn't it?
And it comes up really well on the phone. So when you're building it, it's quite blurry. It's like a Monet, the closer you are to it, you can't see anything.
That's why they break it down into the pieces.
Yeah. And then when you take the picture of it, it comes up incredible. It looks exactly like the photo.
It looks so shiny too. Like her hair looks so shiny in it.
Yeah. They capture everything. It's amazing how they do it. So now we've got to stick them together and find somewhere we're going to put it. But I'm going to do another video. So I've done 2 videos where it's like the box and then what it looks like like that, and then whenever it hangs up. So I'll post them to our socials.
So can you hang it straight to you, or do you need to put it on a board or something?
there's some sticky things you can get from the back, which I didn't get when I was fucking doing the order. Don't ask. But you can get like little sticky things and just stick them to your wall that, can unstick.
Yeah.
You could probably use some of those ones. We've got all those ones with the plastic hooks that you stick on. You could probably use them.
Yeah.
So we've just got to figure out where the fuck we're going to put it because it is quite large. The other thing, and so with the Canucks as well, I've been watching the playoffs this week. We just need one more win to get through to the second round. The Canucks are through. Very excited. And I wore this shirt to work today. And
oh dear.
Penny goes, "Did you get any comments?" And I said, only the big boss. I walked into her office with a coffee. I was like, "Yeah," and she's like, "What does your shirt say?" "Oh, Canucks." I'm like, "Yeah, go Canucks, go." She's like, "Show off." And then I walked out. I had to go to this favor for someone who lives in the building. She wanted to see if my fob worked for level 11, which it didn't. But as I pushed the lift button and it opened, a guy was in there. I'm like, "Sorry, I've just got to see if this works for level 11. He's like, "No, that's fine." And he saw my shirt and he goes, "Love your shirt. Hopefully we get in this time." And I was like, "Oh my God, hopefully we win this year." I was like, "Oh my God, yeah,
sport, bringing people together.
I know,
making conversation with someone you might not ever make conversation with.
And hope not to ever again.
And so that little emblem at the top that says the NHL, is it? Yeah. And
the other thing is, I'm just really looking forward to this fucking long weekend again. After the last one, because we took Friday off, so we had a 4-day weekend last weekend. And after holidays, I just don't know how I'm going to get back to a 5-day working week.
Well, it's been killing me, and I have to work Monday, and I'm fucking
I'm
hating my life about it. But I've changed it for. I did it so I didn't have to tap into my leave, and so I could have the Monday off, and also feel a little less guilty about having that day off. Because I'm also having 2 days off for my birthday weekend. So, and it's a really crazy month for us. Like, it's a big deal for me to have even that amount of time off right now. So I was like, well, at least I'm switching my public holiday that I should have had off.
That's cool that they're letting you do that. Are you work from home?
No, I've got to go in. Yeah. So because we are like national. So it's just a Queensland holiday. So all our other states will need to get in contact with us. So I need my staff to work. So you have to have leadership representation,
That's cool
when you're making staff work. So I usually work the public holidays
and get to do them another time. Bank it up. All right. So you went first with the pop culture last week. So it's my first one this week.
You stupid bitch.
So this
Horrify us.
As I said, it's really not too gory. There are a couple of eek bits, but
I don't believe you, but
it's not too bad. So I'm doing Robert Pickton, also known as the pig farmer or the butcher. And he's a Canadian serial killer, serial rapist, former pig farmer, and possible cannibal who is suspected of being one of the most prolific serial killers in Canadian history. So the reason why I'm doing this fellow is obviously we were in Canada recently in March and we got to drive by the pig farm. So Kate had mentioned it to us when we were coming back from Whistler on the way to her place. It's about half an hour outside of outside of Vancouver, where this place is called, and I'm not going to pronounce the name of the place right, but we'll give it a crack. And then when we'd gone past it, we'd gone back to Kate's house and we were trying to watch all these specials on it. We watched a couple of them. And then I watched one this week or last week on Foxtel called The Pig Farmer.
Is this the one that the Criminal Minds episode is based around?
I'm not too sure.
With the bolt gun?
No.
Oh, okay. So when you said the pig farmer, because there's like a way that they kill pigs
with the bolt gun. That does sound familiar, though.
To their forehead, and that's how. Well, again, I'm this is only from shows that I've seen, so I don't know how accurate that is. But they put it to their head and just punch the bolt through
straight in, and sometimes it kills them. Sometimes it. Now that it does sound
it's
familiar.
Pretty effective.
No, there's sometimes where they can still be like from it. But there is one. There is a killer who did
about
that.
Loving ham and bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
No, ham or eating bacon. Poor little piggies, they're just so cute.
I know. Oh, look, some of those, the way they farm them, having the sows trapped in those little stalls.
I need to disassociate from it.
Yeah. Or just eat free range meat. So it is believed he was active from the late 80s until his capture in 2002.
So they caught him. Great.
Well, while he was charged with murdering 26 women on his pig farm, he has later claimed that the number is actually 49. So born on the 24th of October in 1949 in Port Coquitlam, British Columbia, Robert William Pickton came into the world amidst the idyllic setting of his family's pig farm. Born on the 24th of October.
That name sounds really familiar, actually.
Port Coquitlam or Robert William Pickton?
The Pickton part, yeah.
So raised alongside his younger brother David, Robert endured the harsh realities of farm life under the tyrannical rule of his mother, Louise, who prioritised the welfare of their livestock over her own children's well-being. He also had an older sister, who the parents sent off to live with relatives in Vancouver, as her parents thought that a pig farm would be an inappropriate setting to raise a girl. Talk about a lucky bitch, right? Imagine her life if she had stayed, and especially with what's about to develop through Robert Willie Pickton. And yeah, there's some... Anyway, his father was not involved in raising the children, and his mother Louise was a tough and eccentric woman who supervised the kids, expecting them to put in long hours slopping pigs and looking after other animals on the farm, even on school days, please. Fuck that, hey? Like, imagine going to school and then fucking having to come back and work on a fucking pig farm for hours.
Oh, darling, I couldn't do a hard day's labour if I'd fucking tried. Not for one day. Probably not for 1 hour.
Even with school.
Yeah, way too precious. Way too sheltered, mate.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Look at these nails. They don't like getting dirty.
They do not need to snap. During his childhood, if he was in trouble or wanted to hide from people, he would do so by crawling into the gutted carcasses of large hogs, especially during his father's violent outbursts. So that's sort of something like from a young child is sort of getting used to the fact of death and hiding and fucking desensitized.
Yeah.
Robert's childhood was marked by isolation and cruelty. Bullied at school for their unkempt appearance and the stench of the farm, the Pickton brothers were ostracized by their peers, earning them the nickname Stinky Piggy. Hey, Stinky Piggy. Robert struggled academically.
I'm going to call you that from now on.
Fuck you. I'm going to
Stinky little piggy.
Well, I'm going to Robert Pickton you. Climb in your carcass and hide. Robert struggled academically, and by the age of 12, he had dropped out of school, finding solace in the companionship of animals, particularly in a beloved calf that he raised as a pet. Don't know what he called the calf.
He's going to kill it, isn't he?
He loved that little calf. And one day when he looked for the calf but couldn't find it, he asked his mother where it was, and she told him, go check the barn. When he got there, he found his father slaughtering the calf, thinking Robert was getting too attached to it and it was softening him.
Oh, dear.
Robert would later state he never got over that and would continually repeat the story to people that he became close to throughout his adulthood. Isn't that fucking horrible? I've told you the story about my pet chicken, haven't I?
I don't know.
I had a pet chicken.
Did your mother slaughter it?
No, but my father did and then fed it to me unknowingly.
Oh, that's happened in my family. My dad did that to a goose, to my auntie at Christmas.
You've seen Return to Oz, right? Have you not seen Return to Oz with that crazy bitch from The Craft as a child?
Oh, I know of it. I think I may have watched it when I was really young, but I don't remember it. But it comes up all the time as like things that you should watch on Netflix and Facebook.
Also,
and stuff.
One of the most brutal children's movies out there. Like you watch it as a child and it's quite fucking freaky. There's wheelies, these monsters and shit like that. Yeah, it was pretty bad. So I had it when we lived together on quarter of an acre in Alex Hills. We had all these chickens and I had one called Belina, and it used to let me pick it up and all this shit, and I would be able to hold it. It was like my little pet. And then I remember one day when we were moving out of there, my parents had divorced, we'd sold the property, and Dad was killing all the chickens, and Stuart was loving it because the chickens were running around with their heads cut off, and I was running after the chickens going, fly, run, fly, get away from here. And then about 6 months later, we were at the new house and I was eating this chicken that Dad had served up. And I was like, this chicken tastes funny. And Stuart just looked at me across the table and went, Belina. I was like, just pushed the plate away from me. I'm like, I cannot eat my pet chicken. It's so fucking terrible.
That's such an older brother thing to do too, isn't it?
Belina. And that's what it was. So they'd killed these chickens and put them in deep freeze somewhere. I think they gave them to the friend down the road and Dad got one and we were eating it that night. I don't know if it was actually Belina, but it was definitely one of the chickens that we had on the property. So anyway, his mother totally set him up for it, knowing what was happening, knowing that the father was killing the calf and sent him down there to go see it for himself, which I just think is fucking gross.
I get that it traumatized him, but isn't that a way of life on the farm though? Isn't it like...
Oh, totally. But this was his pet that he'd raised and he was meant to keep it. And the father killed it specifically because it was making him soft and he was getting too attached to it.
I say.
Ace, get the axe. Come here, Acey boy.
Don't you talk about my puppy like that, my little baby boy.
But it was, even throughout all that shit, he was still pretty attached to his mum. And I guess you'd need someone. The cat's scratching, I say.
No, he's just got the cord. It's always like he's playing like a skipping rope over here with himself.
So speaking of the mother, speaking of the mother, in one special license, what the fuck?
Uh-oh.
Speaking of the mother, where the fuck is this? I've deleted something. Maybe I'll just have to undo. Here we go. Speaking, I've deleted something. It's come back now. Hashtag undo. Speaking of the mother, in one special I watched on Stinky Piggy, there was this story that the brother David, who had just gotten his license.
Is that the documentary? They call it Stinky Piggy.
No. I was calling him Stinky Piggy. It was a documentary on Stinky Piggy.
You're a Stinky Piggy.
You're a Stinky Pinky. Stinky Pinky. I'll give you a Stinky Pinky.
Gross.
There was a story that the brother David had just gotten his license at 16 years old. He took his father's red truck and went driving one afternoon. As he's driving along, no one knows how it happened, but he hit a 14-year-old neighborhood kid who was on the road. The kid lay on the side of the road and was quite injured. David freaked out, drove home and told the mother, who immediately then ran down the street to see where the kid was, found him. He was still alive, but greatly injured. So she just rolled him off the road into a deep slough and left him. The boy's parents got frantic, the boy who'd got hit by the car, calling the neighbors when he didn't come home, calling the neighbors to see if anyone had seen their son. Tim, his name was. And at around 1 a.m., the father then went to the police station to report his son missing. During a search the next morning, the father spotted his son's shoe on the side of the road. So he knocked him out of his shoes and he peered into the water over the edge and he saw his son's body. During the autopsy, it was revealed that the son died from drowning. His death was ruled as accidental. So the injuries he'd had from being hit by the car, he would have survived, even though they were great. But the motherfucking just rolled him off onto the water and he died of drowning. Anyhow, back to Robert. Even after he became an adult, he would constantly stink of manure, dead animals, and dirt. He was never clean and had a fear of showers. Know someone like that. So, anywho, back to Robert. Even after he became an adult, he would constantly stink of manure, dead animals, and dirt. He was never clean and had a fear of showers, which he said was because his mother always insisted that he take baths. Like, hello. Side note, but as an adult, he would get to such a state of stank that a friend would have to nag at him, telling him he was too vile, and he would finally go and bathe in a tub. Needless to say, this hampered his dating life. So despite his academic shortcomings, Robert found work as a meat cutter, honing his skills in the trade before returning to the family farm on a full-time basis. In 1978, following the deaths of his parents, Robert and David inherited the farm. It was like 7 acres, and it was a pretty valuable piece of estate. land-wise anyway. They sold part of the land, earning over 5 million Canadian dollars. So now they were rich little stinky piggies. And as such, the farmstead then became a hub of debauchery and they altered a large farm building on the land for the purpose of holding dances, concerts, and other recreations.
This is not a good avenue. Oh my God. So hang on. So where did they get the money from?
They sold a piece of the land. When
so they sold a piece but kept the rest.
Yeah. So they just sold a portion of it, made 5 million Canadian dollars back in 1978. So that's a shit ton of fucking money.
God, it must have been fucking.
That would be what, 50 million probably today. So now they were rich stinky piggies. They had the parties, the dances. They'd begun to neglect the site's farming operations and registered a non-profit charity, the Piggy Palace Good Times Society, with the Canadian government in 1996. Hang on, that's wrong. It can't be 1978 they sold it.
He was born in the 60s, you said, wasn't he? 58,
yeah.
did you say?
Oh, 49. He was born in 1949.
Oh.
So, yeah, I'd say the parents probably died then. So the parents died, they got it. I think maybe they sold it 10 years afterwards or so, made $5 million. Still, pretty good.
Kept a chunk.
Kept a chunk. Started up dance parties, registered a non-for-profit charity, the Piggy Palace Good Times Society, with the Canadian government in 1996, claiming to, and I quote, organise, coordinate, manage and operate special events, functions, dances, shows and exhibitions on behalf of service organisations, sport organisations and other worthy groups.
Who would want to go to a party there? Seriously.
I mean, but the name Piggy Palace Good Time Society does sound pretty fucking enticing. Its events included raves and wild parties featuring Vancouver sex workers and gatherings in a converted slaughterhouse on the farm. These events attracted as many as 2,000 people, and members of the Hells Angels were known to frequent the farm.
It's a real rags to riches story, isn't it?
Isn't it just rags to stinky piggies to rich piggies? During this time, they got heavily involved in drugs and would get drug-addicted people who were out of jail or had lost their way in life to work on the farm. So I don't really know what happened to the brother. I don't know if he moved on, took the money and ran or what. You don't really hear too much of the brother when it gets to this point. But he used to hire people who would be down on their luck, basically, and he'd get them to do odd jobs around the farm, pay them $100 a day, yada, yada.
Like the Tiger King.
Like the Tiger King, exactly. And there were people who'd then use that money. Pay them
next to nothing. They wouldn't get a job anywhere else.
Yeah, well, he sort of paid them more money than they would ever really see in a day. So, so that he wasn't too stingy, but they'd also then just use their money to buy drugs and shit. During this time, it was becoming pretty evident that there were all these women going missing from Vancouver's east side. So Vancouver's downtown east side is known for its high rates of poverty, homelessness, open drug use, and sex workers. Pickton was familiar with the downtown east side, and the East Hastings Street is on the east side, and that's kind of like the Skid Row of LA, basically. So it's like, that type of vibe. Pickton was familiar with the downtown east side. He disposed of animal parts at a rendering plant there. He would often cruise the 10-block strip called the Low Track. He would offer women money and drugs, and he would take the women back to his farm. Between 1978 and 2001, at least 65 women were reported missing from the downtown east side.
Fucking hell.
Many people in the area were estranged from their families, so disappearances often went unnoticed. Over the years, the rate of disappearances increased. Rumors of a serial killer began to spread, and sex trade workers began walking the Low Track in groups. They would write down the license plate of numbers of cars that picked women up, but the disappearances continued. The Vancouver police refused to say that a serial killer was at work. There were no bodies, and an investigation would have strained police resources, and there was no crime scenes. Many complained about the police apathy or lack of empathy. The Vancouver Sun
Bit
accused.
of a consistent theme in some of the true crime we've done in Canada, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, which is shameful. I mean, these are all back in the day too.
Mm.
The Vancouver Sun accused the police of not pursuing crimes committed against sex trade workers. In 1997, Robert's violent tendencies first came to light when he was charged with the attempted murder of a sex worker named Wendy Lynn Esteta. He had picked up Wendy in East Hastings Street. Wendy first said she didn't want to go as Port Coquitlam, which is about 30 minutes out of Vancouver, was too far. He offered her $100, which was good money, I guess, and that she'd be back in an hour. So she's like, yeah, all right, whatever. She got to his house, and as she walked in, she saw a butcher's knife on the table. She said she just wanted to call her boyfriend and let him know where she was, and what she was, and the address she was. She called her boyfriend just to let him know where she was and that she'd be back in an hour. Yada yada yada. And he's like, "Yeah, there's the phone." While she was bending over the table reading the phone book to try and get her boyfriend's number, she felt him behind her. She said she felt his presence behind her, and suddenly grabbed her wrist and put a handcuff on it. She freaks out, remembers that there's a butcher's knife on the table, grabs it and stabs him. They get into a tussle and both get stabbed, but she ends up escaping. So she's wounded him. He's stabbed her about 4 times, I think.
Fuck.
She's fucking running through the fucking pig farm, trying to get to the street and trying to get the fuck out of there. They get into she runs off the farm, and as she's running down the road, a car approaches her, and ultimately it helps her. The car pulls up, and the lady, so in the special that I watched, the lady they interview was the one in the car, says they saw her. She had the butcher's knife in her hand. They were like, "What the fuck?" And she's like, help me. And when they saw the handcuff on her wrist, they realized that it was trouble. There was something bad happening. So they called an ambulance. She gets taken by the ambulance to the local hospital. In the meantime, he's driven himself to the same fucking hospital. So they're both in the same hospital.
Holy shit.
I know. Because Wendy was a drug addict and the prosecution felt, so Wendy tells the police what had happened and all that shit, they put the charges of attempted murder, yada, yada, yada. But because she was a drug addict and the prosecution felt she was too unstable for a testimony, the charges weren't pursued. And he was just let to do whatever he wanted. Like, even if she wasn't able to give a fucking testimony, he still stabbed her, tried to kill her. Why the fuck isn't he being charged? And I actually hate the whole thing of attempted murder being lighter than any murder charge, because you tried to kill someone. The fact that you failed doesn't mean that you're not a murderer.
You're rewarded. Well, you had a good go, but you weren't successful.
You didn't get there. Next time, eh? Next time.
No big deal.
Yeah, try it again. In early 1999, an informant told the Vancouver police that a friend of his, Lynn Ellingson, had seen a woman's body hanging at Pickton's farm. Ellingson was questioned by police and denied the story. Much later, she confessed that she had in fact seen the body. She did not report it because she feared Pickton and depended on him for drugs. So I've seen this in the documentary, The Pig Farmer, on Foxtel, and they interviewed this Lynn chick. So what she says happens was, Robert asked her to come for a drive with him so he could go pick up a sex worker. They're driving down East Hastings Street. They find one. She winds down the window. He's like, get in. The woman looks at Lynn and says, are you going back there? And she's like, yeah, I live there. Yeah, I'll be back there. And she goes, okay, well, if you're going back, I'll go back. When they get home, Lynn's like either coming down or fucking whatever. She's gone off to bed, passed out in her room. Robert's gone off to the room with the sex worker. She's passed out. A couple of hours later, she woke up and she couldn't hear anything. So she went and looked in Robert's room and there was no one there. She looked outside and saw the light on in one of the barns, which was used for slaughtering pigs. She's like, oh, the fuck? So she sort of stumbles down there. And when she opens the door, right in front of her, the woman's body is hanging on a meat hook, naked and slaughtered in front of her. She screams. He's right there. He grabs her and basically says to her, if you say anything, you're fucking next.
So why did he protect her?
Because so this chick that, this Lynn Bird, she worked on the farm. So she used to do admin and like reception shit, and he'd pay her $100, $200 a day. So he knew they were friends. He knew that she wasn't going to fucking go anywhere because she needed the money. She was a drug addict, yada, yada, yada. And she says in the documentary as well that after time, she ends up leaving. She would call him and say, give me these drugs or I'm going to fucking talk about the body. And she'd get drugs. She blackmailed him a couple of times.
I want to watch this documentary.
Well, there's also a 35, for those who are a bit squeamish, there's also a 35-minute YouTube animation called The Pig Farmer, Canada's Most Evil Serial Killer. And we watched this when we were in Chilliwack with Kate. And it's like an animation of everything that sort of happens, kind of. And it's a bit easier to watch because it's sort of cartoony. But it was quite cool, clever the way they did it too. And they cover a lot of stuff, including the baby calf. Hi, Kate. So yeah, it covers it pretty comprehensively, and it's an animation. It's not so graphic. So watch that if you're intrigued, but don't want all the gore. There were plenty of rumors that Robert had been up to no good, but again, the police wouldn't act on anything because they had no proof or no cause for a warrant. So if they'd gone on the farm and found shit, it would have been inadmissible because they didn't have a warrant. And they were relying on an eyewitness testimony, and no one was coming forward or giving one. So finally, in February 2002, a former truck driver from the Pickton family told the RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, that they had seen illegal guns at the home, and with that, the police were finally able to get a search warrant and raid the pig farm, unleashing a cascade of horrors. What they uncovered was beyond comprehension. Personal effects belonging to missing women, clothing, shoes, jewelry, an asthma inhaler prescribed to one of the missing women, scattered amidst the squalor of the farm. The blood of another missing woman was found in a motorhome on the farm, and with these two bits of evidence linked to two missing women, he was arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder. The excavation unearthed a grim scene of death and despair, suggesting Robert's involvement in the disappearance of numerous women, predominantly from Vancouver's downtown east side, and he would then later be charged with a total of 26 murders.
Fuck.
Excavations continued at the farm through November 2003. The cost of the investigation is estimated to have cost 70 million Canadian dollars, which is probably about 72 Australian million dollars. The property is currently fenced off.
Imagine how many lives they would have spent if they'd done that. I mean, saved if they'd done that, spent that money sooner.
Yeah, exactly. The property is currently fenced off, #been there, and it's kind of like all just demolished now. In the meantime, all the buildings of the property, except a small barn, have been demolished. Forensic analysis proved difficult because the bodies may have been left to decompose or be eaten by insects and pigs on the farm. During the early days of the excavations, forensic anthropologists brought in heavy equipment, including flat conveyor belts and soil sifters to find traces of human remains. On the 10th of March 2004, the government revealed that Pickton may have ground up human flesh and mixed it with the pork that he had sold to the public.
No.
The province's health authority later issued a warning about this.
Oh, well, it's too fucking late by that point, isn't it?
So they found out that he was starting to grind up the meat and mix it in with, the pork meat and sell it to the fucking Vancouver people. Another claim was made that he fed the bodies directly to the pigs. In 2003, a preliminary hearing was held, and the clothes and rubber boots that Pickton had been wearing during the assault on Wendy, the one who got away, were seized by police from an RCMP storage locker. In 2004, lab testing showed that the DNA of 2 other missing women were on those items as well. While he was being held in jail, he shared a cell with an undercover RCMP officer and told the officer he'd murdered 49 women, and he was disappointed because he wanted to get to 50. Robert Pickton's trial captivated the nation as prosecution sought justice for the victims and closure for their families. Despite overwhelming evidence against him, the legal proceedings were fraught with complexity, spanning years of deliberation and legal maneuvering.
Fucking hell.
During Pickton's trial, lab staff testified that about 80 unidentified DNA profiles, roughly half male and half female, had been detected on the evidence. A loaded revolver with a dildo over the barrel and one found and 1 round fired, boxes of ammunition, night vision goggles, 2 pairs of faux fur-lined handcuffs, a syringe with blue liquid inside, and Spanish fly aphrodisiac were found inside Pickton's trailer. In a videotaped recording played for the jury, Pickton claimed to have attached the dildo to his weapon as a makeshift silencer. This explanation was impractical at best, as revolvers are near impossible to silence in this manner. So who knows if he was like fucking him and shooting? Yeah.
Jesus.
A videotape of Pickton's friend Scott Chubb, hey Chubb, saying Pickton had told him a good way to kill a female heroin addict was to inject her with windshield washer fluid, hence the blue liquid in there. A second tape was played for Pickton, in which an associate named Andrew Bellwood said Pickton mentioned killing sex workers by handcuffing and strangling them, then bleeding and gutting them before feeding them to the pigs.
Tyler is not going to be able to listen to this one.
Photos of the contents of a garbage can found in Pickton's slaughterhouse, which held some remains of victim Mona Wilson, were also shown. On the 9th of November 2007, the jury found, so he was arrested in 2002. On the 9th of December... He
was in prison the whole time, right, though?
From 2002, yeah.
To 2007.
Because they had to get all this shit. There was just so much shit. So they've gone out to the farm, fucking found all this stuff. So finally in 2007... Imagine
being the prosecutor on that case.
Or the defense. His mother killed his calf.
Overruled. Overruled.
You leave Sticky Piggy alone. So on 9 December 2007, the jury found Pickton, you're going to love this, not guilty on 6 counts of first-degree murder, but he was found guilty on 6 counts of second-degree murder. On the 11th of December, after reading 18 victim impact statements, British Columbia Supreme Court Justice James William sentenced Pickton to life with no possibility of parole for 25 years, the maximum punishment for second-degree murder, and equal to the sentence which would have been imposed for a first-degree murder conviction. Mr. Pickton's, this is what he says, Mr. Pickton's conduct was murderous and repeatedly so. I cannot know the details, but I know this. What happened to them, the victims, was senseless and despicable. That's what he said when he passed the sentence.
That's it. Senseless and despicable. I think there's a lot more to say about it than just that.
How can it not be first-degree murder? He went out knowing he was going to fucking kill him. It wasn't like, oh, it just happened in the heat of the moment. And if it did once or twice, there's 49 of the cunts. Anyway, in February this year, 2024, please, Pickton became eligible for day parole. And in 2027, he will be eligible for full parole.
No.
A dozen mayors from Metro Vancouver have sent a letter to the federal justice minister demanding that he never be granted day parole, stating that Pickton has demonstrated a lack of remorse and the depravity of his actions serve as a stark reminder of the dangers he poses to society. He is 74 now, please. And that is Robert Pickton.
So is he on day parole? Did they?
No. So I was Googling some of that shit to try and find, and no, all the mayors have said basically don't do it. He's not on day parole. I doubt he'll come out or ever get parole.
I fucking hope not, mate.
I know. That's that whole good behavior thing. There was something that came up about that recently, and Vinny and I were talking about it, just going like, some guy got released on good behavior. And that's right. We're watching Obsession Dark Desires, and a guy who was fucking harassing this woman got released on good behavior, and the first thing he did when he came out, straight back to her house. Yeah. So yeah.
What are you eating?
Chocolate frog from Harry Potter's world. Teddy got us. Fucking big, look at that.
It's massive. How do you even shove that in your big gob?
Because I'm a stinky piggy.
Oh, that was really awful. That was really brutal.
Pray to God.
Baby, I'm sorry if you got this far. You'll be traumatized.
Stinky piggy.
What a sicko. All because of the calf got killed in front of him. Please.
Well,
okay, my turn. I don't know how I follow that.
I was just going to say, like, you got to think too, if the mother was easily, like, I guess, coming up and slaughtering pigs, when it comes to killing something, there's got to be, as you said, desensitized. Not saying all pig slaughterers are murderers, but like when the mother was able to run out and just push the kid down the fucking slough, it takes away any value of life for the kids as well. They don't have
But how did they know about that? How did they find out that she had done that? Or is it just assumption based or suspicions? No,
there was some thing in the article as well that because he took his car, they took the car that hit him. They got a friend of the farm or friend of the family to bump out the dent and fix the scratches, and they wanted him to repaint the car red with the red paint they had, but he wouldn't do that. And so he testified saying that this is what happened. But once he was caught, he came with evidence. This was back in the day. Back when his brother hit the kid. It all sort of went, the mechanic or whatever had testified that he'd bumped the dent out, but there was no link to it. So it kind of just drifted off.
Jesus,
but it makes you wonder what else had happened back then as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what I was thinking, like with the daughter who got fucking sent off to Vancouver. She's probably like, just fucking thank fuck. Could you imagine what happened when the kids hit puberty? You could imagine they wouldn't have even cared about that X-Files episode. It came up on Instagram the other day.
Oh, that's
the family.
Rotten.
Yeah.
That's really rotten. I think
so. Yeah,
a little bit disturbed by all that.
You're welcome.
Fuck. Okay.
You're up.
My turn. So, the Lululemon Murders. The murder over a pair of fancy leggings.
Well, Lululemon is quite a good brand.
Tell me you've heard of this one though, right?
I have.
Oh, you have?
I think is it stuff in the back office or something? And
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, tell me, I only know little bits of it.
There has to be a documentary about it on Netflix from one of your crime shows for sure. I don't know that there is, but surely it's pretty sensational. And you've obviously heard of the brand Lululemon. It's like Lorna Jane. It has a men's range in case you're interested. Prob's more popular in the States than it is here, but who knows? Because I don't buy a lot of activewear. It's not my thing. Too expensive. Just wear tights, thanks. A small piece of trivia, and back to our unintentionally reoccurring theme so far this season. The brand was founded in 1998 in Vancouver, Canada.
Little tie-in.
The murder didn't happen there, though.
No.
Anyways, back to the murder. Jayna Murray, a 30-year-old graduate student at Johns Hopkins University, accepted a job at Lululemon Athletica so she could meet other active people and attend seminars that would help her as she pursued a Master of Business Administration degree.
Pursued.
She met 29-year-old Brittany Norwood while working at the store, and fellow employees said that there was never any issues between the two women. On March 11, 2011, Murray and Norwood were both working the closing shift at the Lululemon in the upscale Bethesda Row shopping center. It's in Maryland if you didn't know, you stupid bitch.
Oh.
Reports state that the two women checked each other's bags at the end of the night as per store policy. Murray found a pair of stolen leggings in Norwood's belongings. They left the store at 9:45 p.m. and 6 minutes later, Murray called a store manager to tell her about the leggings. Soon after, Norwood called Murray and told her she'd accidentally left her wallet in the store and needed to go back inside and get it.
What a shit fucking policy, though. Check everyone's bags before they leave, including staff.
Well, I think they had suspected that she had been stealing. It seems like they probably put that policy in place because they hadn't yet caught her and they thought that she was pinching shit.
Right.
But then put it on the staff member to check her.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't make the poor, chick who's trying to finish a graduate degree. Check some bitch for fucking stolen leggings.
Yeah.
Get the big boss in, mate. At 10:05 p.m., the pair re-entered the store. Moments later, employees at a neighboring Apple store heard a commotion. Now, this bit is pretty crazy, I think. During the investigation, it was made apparent that an employee and a manager at the Apple store next door had heard an altercation through the wall the previous evening. Surveillance footage from inside the Apple store shows them standing next to the shared wall, then walking away, while a security guard sits nearby listening to music on an iPod. The employee testified at Norwood's trial that she heard women arguing, one saying, "Talk to me, don't do this, talk to me, what's going on?" Followed by screams, sounds of someone or something being hit or dragged, and a weak voice saying, "God help me, please. Please help me." The manager testified that he thought the noise was just drama.
So the security guy didn't fucking decide to stick his head in.
Well, the security guard didn't hear anything because he was on his iPod.
But would you tell the security guard?
So the manager and an employee were like ears against the wall, and they're seen on the footage listening, going, "Ooh, something's going on in there. Just drama."
God help me, please. God help me.
The next morning, manager Rachel Ertley walked into Lululemon and discovered a gruesome scene. She called 911 and told the dispatcher, "There's 2 people in the back of my store. One person seems dead and the other person is breathing."
So they were both fucking attacked.
Fucked up.
Yeah, fucked up.
Police arrived on the scene to discover Jayna Murray laying face down in a pool of her own blood and Brittany Norwood bound with zip ties in the store's bathroom. After freeing the seemingly shaken Norwood, investigators listened to her odd tale of what had happened the night before. According to Norwood, when she and Murray entered the store to retrieve her wallet, 2 masked men slipped in behind them. The men raped both women before killing Murray and tying Norwood up while calling her racial slurs, supposedly letting her live because she was more fun to have sex with.
Interesting.
Police initially treated Norwood as a victim.
I don't know how you take that as, if that is all true, how you take that as a surviving victim. Like, thank God I'm a good root.
The whole story's outrageous, I think. Police initially treated Norwood as a victim in the Lululemon murder case. They began a manhunt for the perpetrators, asking local stores if any customers had purchased ski masks recently, and even followed a man who matched Norwood's description of the killers. However, investigators quickly became suspicious. Detective Reuven, who questioned Brittany Norwood several times, later said, "It's just this little voice in the back of my head. Something's just not right. The way Brittany's describing these 2 guys, they're racist, they're rapists, they're robbers, they're murderers. It's like the worst human being that you could possibly describe, right?"
Yeah. And what are they doing in a Lululemon store?
Exactly. What are they really going to steal from a Lululemon store? I guess cash, people have stolen for less. Each time, I mean, stolen less. I'm on my second glass of red, okay? Fuck you. God, pop culture is going to be interesting.
We'll pursue it well enough, don't worry.
Pursue it. Each time police spoke with Norwood, they noticed inconsistencies in her story. She told police she had never been in Murray's car, but detectives had found her blood on the vehicle's door handle, gear shift, and steering wheel. On March 18, 2011, Norwood was arrested for Murray's murder, and police unraveled the truth about what really happened the night of March 11. God. All the gory details of what the media had dubbed the Lululemon murder emerged at Brittany Norwood's trial.
Jesus.
Mary Ripple, Deputy Chief Medical Examiner for the state of Maryland, it's in Maryland, just a bit, told jurors that Jayna Murray had no fewer than, wait for this, 331 injuries on her body that came from at least 5 different weapons.
Holy fuck.
How fucked up is that?
That's a lot of fucking stabs or injuries.
Her head and face were badly bruised and covered in cuts, and the blow that had ultimately killed her was likely a stab wound on the back of her neck that severed her spinal cord and went all the way through to her brain.
Jesus. And who was the one who had the leggings allegedly in their purse?
The chick who was bound with the ties that was alive.
Ah, okay.
So the one who's dead is the one who found the leggings and called the boss and said she's tried to steal leggings.
And then called her back into the...
Yeah.
So the boss has said, get her back.
No. So what happened was they've finished for the night. She's checked her bag, found the leggings. They've left. She's got into a car. She's called the boss and said, look, I've found her. She's stolen these leggings. She hangs up the phone. The chick who stole the leggings rings out and says, I've left my wallet in the store. You're going to have to let me in. And she was still in the car park. So she's like, yeah, whatever. I'll come and let you in. She lets her in. So she knows
she's found the leggings. So she's like,
yeah. So she 100% knew that she found the leggings and was going to call the boss. So the area of your brain is pretty critical to you being able to function, Ripple testified. This is the deputy chief medical examiner. She wouldn't have lived very long after that. She would not have been able to have any voluntary movement to defend herself.
Yeah, she's fucking spinal cord's fucked.
Murray's injuries were so gruesome that her family were not able to have an open casket at her funeral.
Well, 300 fucking injuries would do that to you, yeah.
331.
Oh, sorry. Nearly every day of the year.
After using items from the store's toolkit to brutally murder Jayna Murray, including a hammer, a knife, a merchandise peg, a rope, and a box cutter, Brittany Norwood left the store and moved Murray's car to a parking lot 3 blocks away. She sat in the car for 90 minutes trying to come up with a plan to cover her crimes. This is the bit that I think is also really hectic. Like, this bitch is just like, how am I going to cover this up? Like, just goes into complete like problem-solving mode
to make herself a victim
brutally murdered this woman.
And it's, I don't look. This might sound crass, but like when you're saying all the weapons as well, it just sounds like you could never make a Cluedo game out of that. It was this bitch with the box cutter, in the back office.
It was obviously like a crime, like
a frenzy.
Frenzy. Yeah, like a rage.
Yeah.
A rage cannibal.
Just grabbing whatever to fucking.
Yeah. So she goes back into Lululemon and puts her plan into action. She takes money from the cash registers to stage a robbery, slices open her own forehead, cuts a gash in Murray's pants to make it seem like she had been sexually assaulted, which I think is just like, what the fuck?
Totally, because they do a rape kit.
Yeah, of course they would. She then donned a pair of size 14 men's shoes, jumped in a puddle of Murray's blood, and walked around the store to make it seem as if male attackers had been inside. Finally, she tied her own hands and feet with zip ties and settled into the bathroom to wait for morning. Like, how focused would you have to be to come up with all that? Even though I think the cutting the pants is not very smart. And I read there's a few other pieces about it, and apparently there was teeth marks on the zip ties. So that, because people were like, oh, she mustn't have acted alone. Like, she must have had someone to help her. How do you tie yourself up with zip ties?
Yeah.
And she's done it herself, yeah.
But what did she do with the shoes and the money?
I don't know if they ever really covered that. I think they did find it, actually, because they had a lot of evidence against her in the end, I think.
Yeah.
Throughout the course of the investigation, it was also revealed that Brittany Norwood had a habit of stealing and lying. She had previously left a hair salon without paying for services after claiming someone had stolen her wallet out of her bag. Norwood's former soccer teammate said, she was my best friend in college. We had a falling out because the girl was like a klepto.
Wow.
She claimed she had stolen money and clothing from her. Reportedly, Norwood's managers at Lululemon had suspected she was shoplifting, but they couldn't fire her without direct proof. When Murray had finally caught her in the act, she paid for it with her life. So they've obviously said to her, look, check her bags before she leaves. We need evidence that she's stealing. And they're the reason that this poor fucking woman is dead.
Yeah. That's fucked up to get someone to check someone's bag like that.
I think so too. But you're working in Lululemon too. Like, you know, that's like kind of, I don't know what the standards are in Maryland, you dumb bitch. But, you know, usually those shops are a little bit, you know, fancier. It's well-dressed typed women, you know, or quite, you know, carefully put together. So, you know, I think they probably wouldn't have imagined that she was capable of this kind of carnage, right?
Yeah. There's something that's ringing in my head about something about working in Lululemon was like a Lululemon sort of culty type thing.
Oh, yeah. I think I've heard that as well, actually.
Yeah.
They're still going because I looked them up to see if my comparison to Lorna Jane was accurate.
Yeah, no, they
and
definitely
again,
are.
I'm not an expert on activewear, so apologies, listeners, if you are experts on activewear and you're like, oh my God, Lorna Jane is so different from Lululemon, because I don't know shit.
No, I think it is the same shit. They are definitely still going because there's a girl that used to be in my team when I had a team called Lulu, and one of the other girls used to call her Lululemon, and that's what her nickname was.
Yeah, well, they've got like, I was just looking at the website and they've got like, the whole range of the puffy tracksuits that are all the rage at the moment,
Yeah.
And the beiges and the pastels and stuff like that. Not my style, definitely not my style. So during the 6-day trial for the Lululemon murder in January 2012, Norwood's defense team did not deny that she had killed Jayna Murray. They did, however, argue that the murder was not premeditated. They successfully argued that the information about the stolen leggings was irrelevant to the trial because it was hearsay. So Murray's attorneys were not able to tell the jurors the true motive for the killing. Come the fuck on.
Yeah.
Seriously, even if there wasn't a motive, do you need a motive when you brutally kill someone as horribly as she has killed this woman?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
330 whatever fucking injuries.
The defense stated that day there was nothing going on between Jayna Murray and Brittany Norwood. The absence of a motive is an indication it's not premeditated. This is not a crime of motive. This is a crime of passion. So what was the motive for the passion then, you dumb fucks?
So what? She was in love with her.
The jury didn't fall for the defense's trickery. According to one juror, I asked who thought it was first degree and everybody's hand just went up. Brittany Norwood was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. She was sent to the Maryland Correctional Institution for Women. That's in Maryland, dumb bitch.
Was that in Maryland? You should have said.
I know.
Isn't it interesting?
I know you know where I was.
That this chick who obviously brutalized and tortured and killed this woman gets life without parole, but fucking Robert Pickton.
I know. It's so crazy. So there's no consistency.
Gets second-degree murder.
He could be out in 2027 if he really wanted to be.
Which is 3 years.
Jesus. So Montgomery County State's Attorney John McCarthy said of Brittany Norwood, her cunning and ability to lie is almost unparalleled. I don't know if she was that good. Though Norwood will, but
she was able to just switch on and just start lying and that's why they're probably like, you fucking psychopath.
And they certainly believed her in the beginning. It's not like they walked in and went, oh, bitches, lying.
Well, you would if you saw someone like that.
Yeah.
With the cut and a gash in her leggings.
It's amazing that they're still in business after it. Imagine the damages that they would have had to pay to the family. I hope they paid big time. I hope they paid a shit ton of money out to this poor family.
Would they had to have paid anything?
Well, I mean, she was killed in the work premises. There'd have to be some sort of insurance claim. There'd have to be.
Yeah. Any publicity is good publicity, though,
I guess. Though Norwood will likely be behind bars for the rest of her life, those involved in the case will never forget the brutality of the Lululemon murder.
Yeah.
Now, there is some pictures.
And that was in where?
Maryland, you dumb bitch.
That's
right. But if you go and have a look at the images of the scene where she was found, it's so bad. Like, it's just drenched in blood. It's just a hallway that's just like drenched.
Oh.
It's bad, hey?
Oh, okay. I see the murderer too.
And also these dumb Apple employees. That's just a little bit of drama. We're not going to get involved. We're just going to leave it. At least call the police and be like, something sus is going on.
Totally.
It could be nothing.
Especially if someone's saying, God help me.
Out.
Please, God help me.
Yeah.
There is blood everywhere. And that bitch has some fucking forehead on her, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
Jesus.
She looks rough though, doesn't she?
Yeah. Yeah, she looks like she'd stab a bitch for a fucking... Yeah, the shoe's next to the fucking footprint. So it's not...
Yeah, it wasn't the most well thought out plan, was it?
Yeah. And isn't it hilarious that the way she thought she could say that she survived is because it's a better route than the other one?
Yeah, I know. It's outrageous, isn't it?
It's like another little dig at her.
And just the confidence of the whole thing, just to be like, oh no, I'm also a victim.
Yeah.
There's heaps of YouTube podcasts about it.
Yeah, see, that's where I heard it originally.
Oh,
from
okay.
My Favorite Murder. They did it.
Oh, they did it, did they?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that's where I heard something about the whole cult thing about it. Like if you work there, there's this whole big.
Yeah. They clearly have a lot more time to research than I did.
That's all right. We've got to keep it fucking within our time limits, don't we?
We do indeed.
Well, thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed our little tales of stinky piggies and Lululemons.
We hope you also partook in a glass of wine or the liquor of your choosing.
And tune in next week for some pop culture led by our dear host, Skye Collett, the stupid bitch from Maryland.
It's in Maryland, you dumb bitch.
Good night, stupid bitches.
Good night.
Yeah, that stupid bitch. He's a stupid bitch. What a stupid bitch. That's stupid.